Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us.
Welcome to the Why Does My Partner podcast.
I'm Jules.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met at a training, and our secret sauce is that we and our partners became fast friends. Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients. We're going to bring those questions here.
And together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions. This podcast is not a substitute for couples therapy. If something you hear in this podcast stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com to leave a question of your own. Here's today's question. Why does my partner look outside for things to make them feel good about themselves?
Like look outside the door or outside the relationship?
Let's call it both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's outside themselves. Like the way I'm hearing the question is like, maybe they're looking for friends or for work or for like other kind of things
to make them feel good about themselves.
Yeah. And like, it's not that they're feeling okay about themselves within themselves. And it may be as their partner, I can't even get them to feel good. Or maybe they're reliant on me to make them feel good.
Yeah. So we can't talk about this question without talking about self-worth. And how self-worth is buoyed up if you have an inner sense that maybe you're not enough.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking about here is like these like innate feelings, these innate knowings of, am I worthy or am I not worthy? Right? Like, what is the learning that you're based on? What is your partner's?
Yeah.
Right. How do you see the world from that perspective?
Right. And I'm thinking about my first forays into this was really through Kristen Neff's work. And I think you two probably entered it in through Pia Melody's work some. And they both talk about it the same way around when we are in a space of kind of scrambling for enoughness and scrambling for kindness, or feeling like we're worthy of attention, kindness, compassion, that there are 3 different basic categories we would go to. So there's the attribute based one. So like, how much do I have? Do I have an amazing gym bod?
Right. Like, what do I look like?
What do I look like? What it could be like, do I have a cool car? Do I have enough money?
What's my house like?
It could even be, and sometimes we'll think about this of like, we're talking about people who are really striving to look a certain way or whatever, but I think it happens in communities all over. So it may be like, if my community is more like, let's say a hippie farming community, then am I living that life in exactly the perfect way? So don't think of it as like, if I'm not into sports cars, this isn't me.
But it has something to do with some kind of belonging and assimilation, right? Because that's at its root, that's kind of what assimilation is about. It's about trying to belong to some kind of culture or community.
Can I push on that word? I think it's about fitting in, not belonging.
It is. You're right.
Absolutely.
It's about fitting in, and often at the expense of letting go of something about the core of, or the essence, or where I come from.
Yeah. So when I think about belonging as a difference from fitting in, and I think a lot of us replace our absence of feeling belonging with fitting in stuff. So when I think about belonging, what I think about is, I know that in my group, I am accepted, welcomed, celebrated for all of the different beings that I am, all of the different aspects of me. And I trust that when aspects of me come into conflict with another person who has aspects of me, of them, right? And those are in conflict, that we'll move through that discord while honoring each other's differences. That's belonging. And I think sometimes, because we don't have that feeling, we jump into fitting in. And so we'll put the right bumper sticker on our car, or we'll vote for the right person and be at the right protest, or have the right house, or take care of our lawn in a certain way,
or dress a certain way. Or,
exactly. Yeah. Which isn't so much a sense of feeling confident that my group is accepting of me, but more that my group is accepting of my fitting in behaviors.
Yes.
So I think fitting in, right, is a huge way we'll
it's a compensation.
Sort of chase that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll chase that feeling of, because I think belonging and self-worth are tied. It's like, do I even let myself belong to myself in my own skin?
I've just never heard it that way before.
I was listening to Janine Fisher talk earlier today. And one of the things that I heard her talk about was how so often, so many of us, like, it's a struggle to really just bring self-compassion and self-love to ourselves. But it's a lot easier to bring self-compassion or love to a part of ourselves. Right? Like, I don't have to like hold the whole of me, but can I hold a part of me? Right? Like, that's a doorway in, it's an entry point. And I think what so many of us probably sacrifice in this lack of belonging and compensation of trying to fit in is that we sacrifice a lot of parts of ourselves.
Yeah, because you have to. Because if you fit in, it means anything that doesn't go with the in group must be cleaved off. Otherwise, all of me gets abandoned. So we end up abandoning parts of ourselves in order to do the fitting in. And of course, that doesn't lead to a lot of feelings of self-worth. So sometimes we'll go for it from the outside because we don't know how to give it to ourselves on the inside, and we'll do it through fitting in. And then another one I was thinking of is other-based esteem. So that one's more like, I don't know.
I supplement my shaky sense of self with your valuing of me.
Yeah. Like if you feel great about me, then I feel great about me. And if you are pissed at me, I feel terrible about me. And so how I'm doing, who I am even, is more based on how you feel about me than it is based on how I think about me or belief systems I'm holding.
Well, like,
about who
I
I
had
am.
to be the teacher's pet. So if I wasn't the teacher's pet, there's not something wrong with me. If I'm not so-and-so's favorite, what's wrong with me? Why did you choose that person and not me?
Right.
Or if the boy didn't like me. There were many of those. So whomever that boy was.
Yeah.
What was wrong with me that he didn't like me?
Yeah. And so we're gauging how worthy we are based on being chosen.
Yes.
Based on being liked. And when we're in this space, then of course, it's really hard to feel centered or solid or stable because my self-worth is attached to the ever mobile feeling landscape inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the only way I have really to control that, by the way, for those who maybe fall into this, is through management, manipulation even of your emotional inner world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I might go into a panic if you're feeling badly towards me or upset with me. And I could move into high delight or even I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's like flying almost level enthusiasm when you feel great about me.
Yeah.
But it's because all of that's located outside of something I can control, someone else's emotional world. Good luck controlling your own emotional world, much less somebody else's. That's not how that works biologically. Because that's not.
I also think, I don't know if we've talked about this. The Taylor Swift song "Blank Space" comes to my mind. These lyrics sound a lot better to music, but the words are, "Find out who you want to be that girl for a month." That's what we're talking about right now. Like, I will be whoever. And again, it sounds better to music.
Wait, what are the words again? I'm not familiar with this song.
Find out who you want, be that girl for a month.
Something's not making sense about it in my
head. I will be whoever you need me to be, as long as you like me.
Right.
Well, that will make you like me is a better way to say it. I'll be whoever you need me to be.
So this is like what my middle schoolers come home and talk to me about when they say, that's a pick me girl.
I've never heard that term, but maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, I'm manipulating how you feel about me by pretending to be who I'm guessing you want.
Yes.
And in that way, you feel great. You feel like, oh my gosh, this girl's the unicorn. This guy is amazing.
But there's a lack of authenticity.
Yeah. This person, they're everything I've ever wanted. And as long as they keep feeling that way, I feel great. And the second they don't,
I plummet.
So when I come back to this question, why does my partner look for things outside to make them feel good about themselves? The thing I hear inside of this question is a profound emptiness, like a disconnect from self. And then I'm also like, as I just read the question again, I'm also like wanting to do a little bit of a U-turn for the person who's asking the question. And I'm curious, is what we're talking about what you're thinking about? Is it this emptiness in your partner? Or are you basically saying, why are they looking for things outside of our relationship? Why is it not me? Why am I not enough?
Yeah. And so it's possible. And by the way, this brings in performance-based esteem. I love it. So when you're in that world, then it's basically like how well I'm doing at the job. So if I am assuming that I am a worthy partner, when my partner is, I guess, a bit dependent on me, for lack of a better word, for their well-being, when they look to me to feel good about them, then I'm performing my job as partner well. And that could go to a bunch of different spaces. It could go to workaholism, and it could go to if you are some sort of out there performer, like a singer or whatever, it can be in that space. Like how well I do will influence how I feel about me. And so whichever job you've given yourself, it could be the best mom, it could be the best worker, it could be the one the boss chose, it could be whatever. It could be a high earner.
These also mix into each other as well.
Yeah.
Because like I would use my performance to get my boss to like me. So I do think there are some people that are very cleanly in one category. I actually think that's rare. That's my own theory. I think most of us,
is anybody in one category? I have used them all.
Well, like
every part of me is in multiple categories
to get the other ones. Because I think most of us are really, I mean, I call it society based only because it fits with my last name. But I think that most of us use these areas to get people to like us.
Yeah.
Am I pretty enough for the boys to like me? Maybe that's a pick me girl. I've never heard that term.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do I good worker to make sure my boss likes me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
teacher's pet.
Yes.
Yes, they're really all going together. And what do they speak about? They speak about two issues, I think. And I think the issues are intertwined. One is, am I worthy of being chosen?
Just for who I am.
Right. Am I worthy of being here, being loved? And the other piece is, do I belong? And I think those are tied. Right. Because we have a sense of feeling like, well, if you belong, it's like I was saying earlier, if you belong in your own skin, do you belong to yourself? When you belong to yourself, it feels much easier to, I don't know, it's like that Mary Oliver poem, Wild Geese. The wild geese are calling you with their voices harsh and exciting, asking you to take your place in the family of things. It's like when I belong to me, then I belong to this world. And then it's easy to find spaces of belonging, and it's easy to welcome other people as belonging in my circle. So I think self-worth leads to more of a sense of belonging. And then we don't have to do the fit in thing, and we don't have to do the scramble to hope you like me thing as much.
That's right.
So it could be that your partner has a self-worth thing. And it could be that you have a self-worth thing. And it could be that you both have a self-worth thing. And by the way, I don't know where you live in the world, but here in the West, most of us have a self-worth thing. So you're in great company.
I was wondering if that's what you were going to say.
Yeah. I just, to land this, I might even say that our culture is designed around us having a self-worth thing, because if it wasn't, capitalism would plummet.
If we all fix this, we're in real trouble. Yep.
All right, y'all. Take care.
All right. Take care of each other the best you can.
Bye-bye.
That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner?
We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio, and that you'll follow the show.
To go deeper, join us at one of our workshops. You'll find our next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you can ask us your questions?
Your questions are relational gold.
Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.